Do this to me. Oh, there we are. I think we're back. I don't know what happened. Let me see if that's the same way for vertical people. Let's see if the vertical people can hear me. If not, it might be a bad time. We shall see. 1 second. Docs, vertical sources. Okay, hopefully you hear me. So everyone, let me know if you can hear me, because our audio is being a little bit weird for some reason. Hopefully you guys are doing alright today. We're back to doing some more game development. What sounds good? Alright, perfect, Bone Circuit. Also, good to see you, Bone Circuit. Hopefully you're doing well today. Hopefully this evening is treating you well. I'm gonna put on some music real quick. I'm just in the mood for it. You know, there's songs you just get obsessed with. I'm obsessed with this Sega 64 song. Not Sega, this is Nintendo 64 Superstar Soccer theme. It's so good, man. It's so good. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back to this. So, things to do today. There's some bugs. A lot of bugs. The audio thing is breaking. Collision's breaking at some point. We saw some weird level transition bugs, so that's not good. Our audio thing is not loading the correct it's not loading the correct preferences for some reason. Like, the levels are different each time, so we're gonna have to do a little fixing. There's some fixing that needs to happen, but hey, that's part of making a game, right? And I think the first thing I want to do is deal with this, because I'm kind of sick and tired of just the levels not being correct. And I wonder if it's due to how Unity handles our player prefs saved in editor in Unity. Hopefully you're doing well, Zero. Also good to see you, Brabbit. Actually, this song, even though this song is good, there's an even better version of it, if you can believe it. Listen to this. It's crazy different, man. Alright, anyways. So, let me finish seeing what's going on here. See where the origin of our bug is arising from. Anything about how this works? One second. I'm gonna put it a little bit lower. Just cause like I can listen to music and code and I'm fine. I can super lock in. But I guess talking and doing that at the same time is kind of weird for me right now. I don't know. Player passes, class stores, preferences, story. Yeah, you don't want to use the stored sensitive data. Yeah, that's for sure. You need to store player prefs data differently based on operations and application. Okay, it's showing the storage location of it. That's for Mac OS and Android. What about me, the Linux user? Okay, here we go. It's right here. Scriptable objects if you find player prefs overgrown in scope. Roll your own config.dat. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to do that. I have my own thing for serializing game data, but I was like, this seems convenient for just storing simple stuff like, you know, audio levels and things that should persist independent of save data, but brother, maybe I just bundle this with, because you're not gonna have different save slots. Like, we're not doing an RPG or something, right? Why not just have the config be tied to the actual game data and just have that be serialized as well? I mean, we're gonna be saving pretty frequently, so maybe in this one instance it actually makes sense to have the config bundled with the game save data. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. No, that's like more malleable though. I can totally foresee myself changing that between releases or versions. Whereas save data, I want to keep it kind of minimal. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay. Shared preferences, API access, shared preferences, C# big data. Okay. Well, let's just read through the code. Let's see what I'm doing here. We create the audio sources. We check to see if it has a key. Otherwise, we assign it our own preset value and then assign the prefs key there. Wait a second. Okay, yeah. Let's just specify that this is SFX. Just to absolutely avoid any potential ambiguity, because maybe they're like contesting each other. So this is a music one. Yeah, like this should not be. And then it's doing the whole thing of, does it has key? Do player prefs have like a try set thing? Or try get? It's weird, it has like the has thing too, like why not just use the simple syntax of like contains and whatever. Oh, you know what? We never do save our preferences though, do we? Maybe that's why there's some weird. I don't know, I really don't use this. This is actually the first time I'm really using player prefs for something. Usually I like prefer hand rolling my own stuff. The only thing that sucks is that, like, if you have loose files you're reading, if you make a WebGL build, they'll take forever. Because for WebGL builds, you can't just arbitrarily access and open a file stream. Like, you have to treat it like a networked thing, and it's like significantly slower even for a small text file. It's really annoying. Cause it'd be nice just to have like a streaming assets folder and just chuck a text file in there and just do your thing, man. Do they have an equivalent load? They have a way of saving it. And then where is our pause view? Because I'm pretty sure, yeah, we're on pointer clicked as observable. That's for the initial press. And this is on the volume slides change. I'm not going to save the file every single frame that this is being modified, so we're just going to do it on on a pointer release or pointer up as observable, and then subscribe to that. Do the same thing here for them. I can't remember if pointer up or pointer down. I'm pretty sure pointer up is what indicates that the player let go, but let me just check out player controller to confirm. Okay. Perfect, yep. Pointer up as observable. Perfect! Okay, we're good there. We're good there. So I'm pretty sure that should be consistent. And then, let's see how Unity handles this. So music down, effects up. And then we stop playing, we press play, and ideally, the volume should be at the same level. Ideally. No! So I wonder if editor is... It's weird, because last time we tested it was flip-flopping. Now it's flipped. So now it's the correct level. If I press play again, it's swapped. It's so weird. This is so weird. Oh, what's going on here? Why were you moving on your own? Okay, anyways. Yeah, I need a... That should not be the case at all. I find it so weird that they're swapping like that. Let's just read through the logic. If player prefs has key this, then we get the float, the volume. We don't modify it at all, we just get the volume. Otherwise, we set volume to 0.8 and then we set the float for this key pair value. That makes sense to me. We don't save it because we also perform that same logic here, which is as key, we get the float, set it, otherwise do this thing, and then save the actual saving of this player prefs to later. So it seems straightforward, but it's behaving weird. So maybe I don't understand something about player prefs. In which case we just say, hey dude, hey man, we're gonna handle our own config file because I really don't want to deal with this dude. And assert when it's being updated. Okay, Bone Circuit. Which day of typing this game is today? Dude, Illusion. Oh boy, which day? I don't know. It's like, we're probably at like 80 or something. 80, 90, we're getting close to 100, man. I haven't kept track. I gave up on keeping track, honestly, dude. Okay, we could do this. Or maybe I would rather, right, because we're going to have our own config thing at some point anyways. So maybe we just say, nah, smell you later. We're gonna roll our own config. Because I don't want to deal with this. Yep, I'm not dealing with this. Roll your own? Yep, phone circuit, we're rolling our own. We're rolling our own, and WebGL builds can just, I don't know, suck it. It's okay. We're not saving anything. That's for the demos only. Okay, we're gonna roll our own. I'm probably... I kind of want to throw this into my dev kit. I kind of want to do that. I also kind of want to have some freedom to like have the dev kit be something different. But then it's like it's gonna be I'm gonna end up over architecting it for something that's simple. You know? Whatever. I'll think about it. CCDK. Yeah. I was about to type .h. We've been in C for too long. Oh. What a beautiful problem to have, though. You're getting too used to programming in C. What game is this? Yep, Radio Rush. Thank you, Zero. I appreciate it. Thank you for being so jolly on the spot. I don't know where I heard that phrase, jolly on the spot. Okay. Config. Okay, it's not showing up here. Fantastic. Okay. So we have our config class. Beautiful. So what are we gonna do? We could just like wrap it within a dictionary and then have what? I could either expose the dictionary or we can just like re-implement some of the basic bindings of it. I know one thing we're definitely gonna have to have is like void save. And maybe we don't, I don't know, we can have load be in here. But I feel like on this being constructed that this should just load automatically. Like that should not be something that we call, or I don't know, maybe we want to give our application code control over that. We're probably going to use StreamWriter for a lot of this stuff because it's good enough. Are we going to keep it? I don't know. We'll think about that. And then the basic idea of what API is. How do I want to interact with this? We're going to just mimic dictionary things. I guess technically we can do the inheritance thing and be like, hey, it's a dictionary of strings to strings, and but I'm not sure if I want to do that. I think I'd rather just have the dictionary being an internal member and not have some kind of inheritance on this. Okay, and then we have some... The thing we have to think about is like the fact that we have different types you can get. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to do generics. There is a world where we can do like some kind of generic here and then out T. And do that, but I don't know. If I wasn't trying to keep this decoupled from the application, I think my preference would actually be just having an enum and like talk about it, like specify the parameters, but it doesn't really matter. Like, this is not a performance intensive thing. We can be a little about it. So yeah, we're not gonna do, or maybe I can just do like, the thing is like we're bound by StreamWriter or Reader, so value isn't set yet. Can we do something really jank here? If I were to try to go down the generic route, can I just do like, oh, is there just syntax for like different, but I think it's like actual objects that have multiple children. Like, we're dealing directly with an abstraction. I don't think primitives like this would be happy. Or maybe it is. Maybe I can actually just do this. So float string. Oh, this feels jank, dude. I was gonna have just a specific API where you have to just do try get float or something, but I guess we can just do this. And we're fine. That's really gnarly, dude. I mean, this doesn't even matter because we're not actually using, we're just doing default. We're just using this to get the... this is hiding like a whole thing, because underneath the hood, this is still like probably allocating something, right? It doesn't matter. It's not that important. What's going on, Kunsterman? You have two streams in the same time? Yeah, man. Do you use publish AOT compile into native machine code in the CS project file? If no, then you run it in IL, which can be decompiled within minutes. I'm using IL to CPP, so I'm not sure what publish AOT is. I know I'm using IL to CPP, so the actual final build is supposed to be a C++ native code that's auto-generated. I'm not too concerned about the source code or this game being decompiled, because I'm seriously considering just publishing the code for this game alongside the game. So if you buy the game, you'll get like not only the game itself, but then there's source code there, not with assets or anything like that, but just straight up the code. I may or may not include my dev kit in there. I don't know. We'll see about that. But maybe I'll make like a very clean version of the code and document it nicely so that people can actually understand what's kind of going on there. How would you explain coding to someone who has no idea what it is? You're just writing recipes, man. That's what you're doing. Like, you are writing recipes for food, and you're trying to make sure that the recipes you write will be understood and executed correctly by whatever chef who's going to cook it. I think that's like the simplest way to think about it. I think these, I guess we could do like case int 2 as well. That's fun. This feels kind of weird, but whatever. Okay, we have to create a stream writer, don't we? Or stream reader. Or actually, no. I'm not gonna do that because we're internally. I'm thinking we're gonna just have everything be just strings, an internal dictionary of strings, and then we can do the parsing from there. Yeah, it's inefficient. Who cares? Maybe if I'm doing like a more intensive thing like Blender's file system, then we'll do like the whole just marshal the entire byte configuration, but like we don't need to do all that. This is not that intensive, and this is a much more malleable thing. How'd you, okay, blindly manipulating symbols, look for a version number at the top of CSV or text. Yep. Actually, that's such a saving grace. Also, Tamirka, hi. And what's going on, Mykov and Kai and then Illusion Hawk? And XOC2 Plus, hello friend, hello everyone. Mother Russia, wonderful new winner. I have no idea, dude. I don't follow FIFA. More like 6 months. Yeah, Zero, we're approaching 6 months, dude. It's crazy. But yeah, Bone Circuit, dude. Anyone who's writing like a file format, do yourself the favor and include a version number at the very top. Just include a version number. Because like at some point specifications change. So oftentimes we're short-sighted, or maybe we're just not as mature in my case, and we make file formats that are actually kind of terrible. And if you have a version number, at the very least you can identify that and then make a better version of it and then do the migration. But if you don't do that, if you don't put a version number in the top of your file format that you're defining, like you're gonna be in for a bad time. Like you're just gonna end up with a bad file format that you can never fix or migrate or whatever, and you have to create another one and be like, hey guys, you know that file format I sent you? Yeah, we're gonna have to remake all your files in my new, better version. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just put the file number or file version on the top. Be happier with yourself. It's gonna make life way easier. Config state. Okay, we're gonna just do. In fact, I should really just do this. Yeah, maybe we should have a day or a video or something where we talk about. I know I keep saying we're gonna do some educational content at some point, but we really should do something about file format or how to define your own and all that stuff. Or at least considerations about, like, maybe not even file format specifically, but just talking about tackling saving data for a game and how not some considerations to keep in mind while doing that. Okay, cool. So we have our raw string now, and then now we can do the parsing. Fun fact, for native burst up in C#, you can't use just float.parse. You have to actually like there's different ways you can go about it. I ended up writing like a DLL that just exposes C functions for that. Is it just float utilities? What's going on here? Did I forget how to do? I'm pretty sure you can just do float and then parse. But then this is mad at me. Why are you mad at me? Can I convert float to target type T? T? Oh, it's not gonna be happy about that. Can I just say, trust me, bro? Okay, can I just... What do we do here? Can I... I want to coerce this to be the type. Apparently, even though we're in this case where we know that it's a float. Okay, I know what we're going to do, guys. We're just going to do unsafe. We're going to do unsafe. Yeah, this is what we're going to do. This is exactly what we need to do. There's probably a better way of doing this. But, this is what one must do, okay? We're gonna make forces to be a point. Why are you mad at me? I'm right. I should be able to do this. Oh, you know what? Can I just... Actually, what am I doing? There's unsafe utilities. Like, there's unsafe marshal as or something. I'm not sure if my assembly definition has that enabled right now. Let's see here. I thought there's an unsafe utility for like unsafe as. We'll be close to AAA after the time and effort you put into it. Nah, it's gonna be like $2. Real talk. I'm probably gonna do like $2 and that's it. XML versus JSON accuracy versus speed. Pointers at pointer, yep. Why are you mad at me? Why can't I do this? I know I'm right. Do I have to do just a cast to be like, hey dude, I know what I'm dealing with. I know what I'm about. Nah, you're not gonna be happy with that. Can I do a void? Can I just do this turducken of evil? No, we can't. How am I wrong here, dude? I feel so convinced that I'm right. Can't initialize, convert type, target. Well, I guess because this wouldn't work either because like. This is probably dealing with unmanaged types. This is an unmanaged type float. So like, and we assign a value there. This sucks. Okay, maybe it's not as... Because this might be pointing to the stack allocated value address. I don't, actually I'm not sure how C# does it under the hood. But that might be one way of doing it, and in that case, this would be bad anyways. So we can't do that. This is off the table. Target float. Why are you being like this? Yeah, it's not gonna. Can I do unmanaged? No, but we can deal with strings though. That's a problem. We can't. Strings are managed types, if I'm not mistaken. So we're back to square one. Okay. I was trying to do. I knew this was kind of too good to be true. I mean, there's probably another way. We can. I know there's a way to force this, but I don't know how to. Well, let's pointer to string, but I'm not trying to do that. Okay, let's just, I don't want to give up on this. We already got to this point. Cast, unsafe, cast. This is a real thing. J. Yeah, unsafe as. So this is just because my this is what I want to do. But I'm not seeing it here. Unity has the unsafe utility though. Does it have its own equivalent of as? Yes, it does. Oh my goodness. Are we... Oh, actually... No, we have to actually unsafe as the generic and then assign value to it. And then we can do our float parse. Am I getting notifications? And then are we there yet? Don't tell me. Incorrect number of type parameters for... Wait, does it require a ref? No, it's a single parameter thing. Oh wait, that's .NET's, that's Microsoft's thing. What about you? What does your function signature look like? Oh, it's containing what you're converting to, and then you need a ref. Oh. Well, we can do that. And then we can convert, we're converting from float to T. Which means you have to store this value here if you want to pass a ref to it. Mind you, this is just to get a float to an out value. This is what we're doing here. Okay, there we go. We just had to, like, you know, do a bunch of unsafe stuff. Do a couple different iterations. Discover that for some reason I can't do a force cast and a fixed block. That's got to be a way to do it, but whatever. Anyways, we're in a good spot, dude. I'm sorry. What? Oh, again, because it's a generic. So because of that, I can't live a normal life. No, I have to live my life like a second-class citizen, being ID'd everywhere, because I chose to use a generic instead of having one function that does everything. And what's the benefit we get for this? That's right, guys. If I mess up anything in this class, the application's gonna hard crash. Unless it doesn't, like the other time when we tried testing it out and it didn't crash with an edit mode for some reason. I don't know why that was the case. Frankly, it was kind of embarrassing because I was trying to show the dangers of doing unsafe code, but then Unity had to go on and show me, hey, nah, dude, apparently unsafe is not as unsafe as you think. Whatever. There's some other considerations too. There's another danger to unsafe beyond just like converting the wrong data to it. There's also the error or issue where like this, if you're converting structs, the size of structs might vary between edit mode versus builds. So ideally you'd want to wrap it in a way, in something that checks to see, like it compares the byte sizes. But we're dealing with primitives, so I think we should be fine. Like int32 should be int32. Should be 32 bits everywhere. Float should be 32 bits everywhere. Strings, I mean, they should be consistent in size as far as struct members are concerned, or class members are concerned. And I think these are the value types I want to support. So, cool. I think I'm happy with this. And then I don't know why you're throwing an error here, because once we enter this switch statement, we have a default case. Oh, actually, no, we don't, because we have breaks. Okay, that's an easy fix. We're good here. Okay, what's going on here? Wouldn't it be better, safer to use span instead of a fixed and unsafe? Haven't tried it. Span. Well, span is just like a pointer to an element, and then like a length and size. I don't think it would solve the issue of like the it wouldn't solve the issue of like the type coercion that we're doing. Among intrinsic instructions for low level, yeah, there's like the AVX stuff that Burst has. You can use span, read-only memory, read-only span, stack alloc. Yeah, there's a bunch of cool stuff for us, man. Pedia. I had to do a bunch of them a while ago when I was writing a really fast parser for in C#. I was using the Burst compile. So there's like the Unity has its way of converting C# to native code, which is the Burst compiler. It's a job system plus the Burst compilation. Which lets you do a lot of fun stuff. And then part of the stuff I did there was beyond just the parallelization stuff, was like using a lot of stack allocs, span. But here's a thing though. Span of Burst does not support chars. There's another reason where you can't use span. You can't. So spans, right? If you have a Burst job and you have spans, you cannot pass spans as parameters to other functions. It's the most annoying thing. So at one point I had a whole bunch of functions that were like void, span, I don't know, int or whatever, or ushort, because chars aren't supported, so I use ushorts, which is the equivalent amount of data for a UTF-16. Anyways, so I had a bunch of functions like that look like this. However, actually, this is weird. This is fine, I guess, because it can implicitly understand if it's a variable or a function call, or I guess not. Anyways, but because it doesn't support passing these structures around, I had to convert them all into like just straight up raw pointers, which was fun. And then any associated data, like the length, that'd be a separate parameter. I mean, it was kind of cool though, because I felt like I was at home and seeing there. It was very nice. But yeah, stack alloc is super handy, nice and fast. Spans and read-only spans are fun. A lot of cool stuff. Honestly, it's kind of surprising how much low-level features C# has. Which is why I don't really dog on it that much, because even though, yes, it has a garbage collector language and all that kind of stuff, it gives you some tools to be able to do fast stuff. And of course, you can always just chuck stuff into a DLL and then do the form function stuff, but there's a bit of a cost for that. But it's not that bad. Okay, so we have our try get, and right now we only support floats, ints, and... See, I don't like the generic thing. Because if I do unmanaged, our string's gonna... Yeah, it's never gonna be a string because T is unmanaged. So you can't do that. But then there's like no indication of like, hey dude, not supported file type. You know what, maybe we should do that. Unsupported type of And then we have the initialized thing, right? So we can just do value.get type name. We don't have to do the fully qualified name. We're not nerds here. We're not nerds. We're not doing the null check. This is gonna throw an exception within the exception. Those are fun. Alright, anyways, you ever tried get here? Implemented. Cool. Next thing we have to do is have probably a constructor would be a good idea. Defining what happens here. And we'll just call it, I don't know, config.config. Or maybe a knit.config or settings.config. Or just a .config file that's just empty. Gotta go. You have a good one, Timerka. Or Timerka. I'm sorry I didn't read too much. I was a little focusing there for a second. Fully free, but at supporter versions, you can get cool looking supporter tag. That might be cool to do. Should definitely do a Cozy Cabin ASMR channel. Maybe I should have Illusion Hawk. I don't know. I've debated maybe just like not talking and just typing. I don't know. Yo, finally finding you again. Hey man, what's going on, Mikey PBR? Finally, yes, you're back. You have returned. Also, Forest Manspedia. If you're doing any Unity specific C# stuff, there's also the AVX. They also have like the AVX. They expose. They have intrinsics for AVX specifically, and Neon too. Yeah, they have the AVX class. So if you actually want to really get into vectorization, you can start doing these bad boys, and then start looking at the Intel documentation for like the intrinsics. I mean, they document them here, but it's pretty gnarly. Pretty gnarly. That's if you want to go in the super SIMD route. In terms of optimization, C# is deep when it comes to its CLR, JIT, etc. There's a repo called B-flat where someone made a custom SDK of C# for lowest minimal binaries. Interesting. That's pretty sick. I wonder if I can use that though in Unity land. I feel like I'd enjoy C# way more if I wasn't attached to Unity. At least in the projects I use it for. Just want to say love the vibe of your stream. Thank you, Flax Hydra. I appreciate it. Also, y'all, 1 second. Also, the Discord. 1 second. I have the Discord. Do I have the Discord open? I mean, I do. But, hey. Welcome. Is it Fal? Yeah, Fal. Glad to have you in the server. Enjoy your stay. Alright, let me get some water real quick, guys. I went to the gym, and, not gonna lie, dude. My chest has been hurting a little bit. Not that much. Not enough for me to think it's like a heart attack or anything like that. So either it's gases, or I'm not hydrated enough. So we're just gonna get some more water and hope for the best. Alright, be right back. Was the sky yellow for you today? Why are you saying that? Is that a symptom I should be looking out for? The sky suddenly becoming yellow? Okay. Okay. I don't know. Do you guys have any ideas for what the config should be called besides just .config? And then we're gonna use some nice stuff like file info, because I've become so accustomed to the file, the file components that .NET has provided us. I should be able to just do this, right? B flat. I need to look into that. That seems pretty cool, actually. It's like those projects where they try to debloat Windows 11 or something. Hey, let's go on, dude. Bienvenue. Is that French? 0? Also, let me not. I don't want to give you guys false. You know what? Actually, no. False pings will remain until morale increases. Oh my goodness. What's another language? Spanish has been taken. I'm assuming that's French. Itadakimasu. What does that mean in Japanese? I'm spelling it wrong. Itadakimasu. Itadakimasu. Because they use silent at the very end. And it means humbly receive. Cool. Itadakimasu. Okay, let's find it. Where is Discord? Okay, here we are. Yeah, I know a little Nihongo. I'm a little. You can call me like a little, kind of fluent in Japanese. You know, I thought about working as a translator, but I was like, no, it's gonna be bad for the market if I just take all the jobs. Oh man. Okay. Anyways, file, and then actually, no, this is not enough because you have to actually combine it with, there's a few more things that have to go on here. You have to do path.combine, and then, I forgot what it is. Is it application? No. Everyone and their mother wants to have an application class. Come on. Okay. Application, persistent data path. I'm pretty sure that's the streaming assets directory. But I'm not sure. Cornerstone doesn't know which color the sky is. Proceeds to Kagi the meaning. Hey, you know what? I'm just making sure that Kagi's result is correct, alright? It's not for me to make sure I'm correct. It's me verifying as, you know, the foremost authority on Japanese language. I'm making sure the results online are correct. I wouldn't want people butchering my language. Oh, bone circuit. Arigato is thanks. That's how one pronounce it. Ah, yes. So desu. So desune. I should get my I should get a fedora, dude. Put on my socks and sandal for me, great, dude. Okay, let me just make sure I'm actually correct here. Holy pronunciation. I know, right? I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at this. You know, I'm somewhat of a cosmopolitan. I'm somewhat of a sommelier of culture. Sommelier. Okay. This value is okay, read-only path. You store data that you want to retain between runs. When you publish an iOS or Android present point in a public directory on the device, files can only be erased by users directly and not by any app updates. Ooh, that's important to know. I can't delete them. The difference slash indicates different operating systems according to, okay. Okay. I like how their example is just debug logging. Hey, this is where the persistent path is. We're not going to do anything with it, we're just going to debug log. Alright. Well, there's persistent data, and I guess that's system independent. What about just the data path? That might be what I'm looking for, actually. Okay. I could have sworn there's something wrong about using it. Contains a path to the game data folder on the target device. Okay, let's just... I always forget the streaming assets. Oh, is it just called the streaming assets folder? Oh, of course, the streaming assets path. I just remembered it right now. Okay, okay, there we go. And I should probably read about the potential issues that could arise from it, but who cares? If exists or doesn't exist, you make it exist. Create. Okay, cool. So loading is actually just happening straight up from here, so we actually don't need to do that, which makes perfect sense. Reduce stream writer, and it's gonna be new, and then file. Open. Right. Yes. Actually, there's a way to just clear a file. And be like, hey, dude, you're gonna have nothing. Or maybe just delete it. It returns a file stream, though. So we'll just do the turducken of usings and just do fs. And then we're just going to iterate through every single dictionary component. Yes. Actually, what did I call it? Did I even make it? Config state. That's redundant. Just call it state. Very cool. Okay, cool. And that should just, I think it should just flush automatically with the using, but you never know, right? And then we also have to build, we have to actually read file create. Actually, I don't use this stuff too much, though. Like, you might be struggling a little bit. I know we're going to have a stream reader. Oh no. Oh no, everything's text though. Everything's a string. We're good. And then we have to clear our state. I'm pretty sure you initialize. No, you're not. Here we go. Default initializer. Okay. And then within here, read string. No. Read line. Yes. Okay, cool. And then we build up our dictionary and everyone's happy. Why are you mad? When null is not null. Okay, we just do this. How about that? Cool. I think everything for our little config is just there. Just good to go. Yeah. Honestly, I almost feel tempted to just make this a static class. Y'all feel me? I know when I'm in trouble, my wife is Japanese. It's universal. Beautiful. Is a secret volcanic layer helipad ready yet? Wait, what's going on here? Oh, so what's going on, Saran? Sorry I didn't say hi earlier. Hello. And MSNCS? Thank you. I'm glad you dig the little lamp we have going on here. It's a keeper. It's nice. I'm happy with it. Dennis Simpson reminds me of the UGI scripter for Skyrim on Steam. Oh, I've seen that. So much simpler to copy and paste. Copy and paste in terms of, like, for the scripter. 4 years of French and all I know is I don't speak French or I'm a student. So you gotta be bold. Half it's confidence. I want to be as good as you. Hey, man. You can. It just takes time, a little bit of practice. Honestly, and then, like, the way I'm able to navigate stuff super fluidly is just from Vim. Vim, you can, like, learn within a week, dude. Like, if you learn, you could be, like, the worst programmer in the world. But if you know some Vim, you can just hop on here and be like, hey, dude, look at me. Yeah. I'm knowledgeable, dude. Yeah, dude. My O of n factorial algorithm, we're not going to worry about that. Because look at this, dude. These Vim motions are O of 1, baby. Constant time. Look at that. Constantly sick. So just ignore my O of n squared factorial that we have in production. We're not going to worry about that, okay? We had 2 weeks ago 38 Celsius indoor. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that feels like. I only know Fahrenheit. I'm sorry. Oh, this is not going to be read only. Are we going to make this static? This is what we're going to do. I think this is what we're going to do, honestly. If I'm going to be real with you guys, I kind of don't want to deal with like a whole... Like, there's a reason why you don't want to do static, and like, you know, if you're doing... Like, you don't want to deal with things fighting for... Like, if you're doing multi-threaded stuff, that's always a pain to deal with, and like... There's consequences of trying to understand where things are manipulating static data. But here's the thing. This is my house. Okay? This is my house. I know what I'm about. I'm a big boy. I know what we're doing. It's fine. If I was sharing this code base with like 30 other programmers, okay, that'd be kind of a problem, probably. Maybe not, who knows? But I'm a big boy. Okay? I put on my pants one leg at a time. My big boy pants. Okay. Static. Yeah, that's the thing. Now this becomes static as well. I'm happy with that. We're all happy with that. And then save. This is pretty straightforward. I'm thinking this should be all just on the up and up. So if that's the case, we can go to audio and no more. Oh, I have to actually go to FNF application first and ensure that our config is actually configuring. So we're going to do config.init. But after that, after our config is initted, we're going to go into one second. Oh crap, I forgot we have to have a way of setting keys. We're almost there. And it's okay. We're gonna be converting to string. Everything's gonna be string under the hood. Whatever. State, we're just gonna do this. And then whatever exceptions happen are gonna happen. That's just live, dude. You can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. Okay. Set mass. Wait. We set the. Okay, we did things in the wrong order, but whatever. So we got rid of our player prefs, and instead we're just handling it ourselves. And let's see if the issue persists. If it persists, that means like we did something. Our logic is fundamentally flawed somewhere, and player prefs we didn't probably have to rewrite player prefs, but whatever. We're gonna do it at some point anyways. Might as well have it be now. And look at this. We have this ugly if-else statement. Gross. We're gonna replace it with another if-else statement, which is gonna be config try get sfx and then actually no, we don't need this. We actually write beautiful code sometimes. Because we just do this. Wait a second. Okay, no, we have to actually do 0.8f. Can't escape that. But hey, this is not bad. This is not bad. So it gets condensed to this instead of this. I'm not complaining. That's a dang good deal. I like that deal. First leg config should be left with my PHP here in Brazil. Hey, that's not bad, dude. Yo, Enzo, I actually my first job was doing PHP stuff. Well, actually, it was a few things. It was like PHP and then PostgreSQL, PostgreSQL, stuff like that. Some backend stuff. Your first leg config should be left. I'm not sure if I understand. You might have to help me out. I'm not always there. 104 Fahrenheit. Jeez, my mobile backplate peeled off, my MP3 player battery at death, and my power supply burnt out. Jeez. Yeah, what a great week. Yeah, it's been hot over here too, man. Last week, it was like 102, I think. And I think that's where I got sick, actually. If you didn't know, I took like an extra week from streaming just because I was under the weather and sick. And as I'm suspecting, that day I went out for like a walk in 102 degree weather, came back home into nice cool AC, and I started feeling that tickle in my throat that something's not right. So probably not it, but I'm gonna assume it is. Okay, we're doing something wrong here, actually. We're trying to get it. If we don't get the value here, we manually set it to this. And we're still using player prefs. Okay, yeah. Config, set. And toString. Okay, we're gonna be a little... This is kind of dumb. Not string, where it implements is that what, toString or string converter? Is toString like just a concrete abstract function instead of like a interface? Wait a second, I need to know this. Because if it's part of just object toString, then it means everything has a toString function. And if we make this an object, I'm pretty sure when you do this, it actually creates another copy of it allocates something a second one on the heap, which just adds a little bit more of GC pressure. Probably not that much, but still something. As opposed to just doing the toString conversion yourself, which is slightly less palatable, but does improve performance. Like it can reduce a little bit of GC pressure. So maybe I'm just gonna do that and just pass a ding old string into it instead of being a little lazy bum. Okay, why are you mad? We have to pass in culture info? No, we're not doing culture info. I don't believe in cultural info. There's only one culture. That's my culture. Not US culture. My culture. Okay. What is the time you're working? I'm working at 11:15 right now. A little 11:15 a.m. or p.m. Enzo, another subscriber. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, Enzo. Hope you have a good one. Get some nice rest. Sleep well, my friend. Okay, so I'm just gonna yoink essentially this whole thing. Actually, yeah, we're gonna yoink it. I see. I was being a fool. No. Okay, here we go. So we did it for SFX. We have to go to music and do the same thing here, which makes me greatly happy that this actually simplifies things a little bit. I don't understand like how Unity did not do that for player prefs. It's essentially a dictionary. They're working within C#. Why would there not be like, hey, just use the same type of functions that dictionary does? People are going to be more familiar with that. I don't know. Anyways, so we have the music volume, and then finally we have to replace our save. Also, we have to set master volume too, which do we not expose the master volume at all? I guess we don't. I guess we just say, hey, these components you get to have access to. Nothing else. Yeah, because mobile has their own volume control. Maybe, but desktop doesn't. I don't know. Maybe we'll include it, maybe we won't. On music volume change. So yeah, they have their set SFX thing as well. But now we're not doing this. Instead we're doing config. So one thing I don't like. Dude, honestly, like I might even just do... That's like the one thing maybe I would make a concession on, is just have explicit calls for this. Because then you're not creating another object, except for the toString, where you're saving like one allocation. It's not a big deal, but it bothers me a little bit. You know? Some people be like that, man. Which, by the way, we should probably do an audit of the code base at some point and like actually inspect it with heap, with the profiler, and see how we're doing as far as all that stuff is concerned. Okay. And now we have to actually make the explicit call for what we're setting, which I'm more amicable to. I'm actually a little bit more amicable to this. Oh. You're actually... No, you're not. That's a direct... it just directly works now. Cool. Cool. I'm good with this. And then what's going on here? Yeah, no longer. Nice. Let's see how this actually works now in practice. What game? We're gonna test it out right now. Regressive bug says hi to me and beats me for an hour. Unity is broken on a lot of places. I have nested prefab scars. Oh no, don't talk about nested. Dude, I honestly, prefabs have scarred me so much where like I prefer just programmatically constructing the objects. Like instead of prefabs have like object constructors and stuff. It's so annoying, like I don't know, man. It's annoying. Oh man. Like even with source control, which thankfully, like, you know, it makes things reversible or easy to track what happened and what. It's like still like an annoyance. Okay. I think like prefabs, I almost treat them like I do inheritance. You know, like one layer, or maybe yeah, at most like one, and that's it. Nah, even for prefabs, I think that's too much. I don't know, man. Okay, we're gonna see if this works, and either our config just runs perfectly the first time. A null reference. Beautiful. Dictionary not found. Could not find part of path. Oh. Could I find part of path? Yeah, that's the point. That's why I want you to create it. Cannot find a part of the path. Yeah, file doesn't exist. We call create. Is that not how this works? I'm sorry, am I going a little crazy here? Because, like, I would have thought... Actually, this is flawed logic, too. Because if you're going to have to create it, then there's no need to do the bottom parse. I mean, it's not flawed. It would have worked fine, I'm assuming. Big assumptions to make, but it would have been fine. It says it could not find a part of the path. That's what's striking me as strange. Because the entire path is like just what Unity gives me, with what Unity told me should be fine. So what is a gamer to do? I know what we're going to do. We're just going to run it again and hope for and see if the message changes. I'm not assuming it's going to get fixed. I just want to understand if this message changed. I know I've done this on Windows. It's going to be the same thing. Directory not found. Okay. Is it mad because I have an empty file? Like I don't have maybe it's just that. Maybe that's just the whole problem. You know, all our problems are going to go away because we have a proper file. No, but like we have files that like that. A dot file. Okay. Either things are different on Linux or I'm just not using this API correctly. File info, yep. Actually create the file, yep. Okay. So I'm using the API as they would intend it. Now the question is, okay, maybe it's not the file itself, but rather, I mean, it's saying there's a part of the directory that's missing. So let's see what's going on here. Maybe it's looking for a directory that doesn't exist. Maybe I've formatted things incorrectly. That could happen. I'm probably more fallible than they are. So let's see here. Anything that sticks out here. Maybe we have a folder with spaces. I mean, I feel like it should be able to handle that edge case. And then init.config. I don't know, man. I feel like the world is trying to make me think I'm crazy again. Is that time when the man wants me to think I'm crazy, and I know I'm not crazy. I know I'm not. This is a path that's being returned from Unity. I wonder if this is bad. Everything seems totally passable here. The only thing I can see wrong is like this. But let's do a little experiment. I'm gonna make this, and I'm gonna explicitly pass in this path we've concocted from the error message and see what happens. The path looks correct to me, so I wonder maybe it might be a link thing. That's kind of dumb. I know Windows has a file length thing. I'm not sure if Linux has that going on. Alright, let's just see. A pi I. What's going on, Monsi? And we're still having the same thing. Okay. Directory not found. Cool. Cool. I'm being lied to. Someone here is lying to me. There's a liar, pants on fire somewhere here. Okay, so we're not going to use that. And onwards, that's what I'm wondering, is that like Unity is providing a path that isn't deep enough for what's actually required for this implementation of file info. Which makes me worried about mobile, because how is the file behavior going to change on there as well? Yeah, still not working. Okay, let's Google. Or no, I'm sorry. We're gonna use Kagi. We're gonna use Kagi, guys. File info create doesn't work on Linux. Okay. Is this a report? Maybe I should specify Unity as well, because we were getting a directory from Unity. With wine? No, we're not using wine. And no, it's not. It's for a build. No. Okay, let's see. Maybe the value is weird on Linux. Streaming assets path. Any special considerations for Linux? It's a read-only folder to store assets. Create it in your project. Oh! It's not Linux, it's not Unity, it's me. Okay, do you guys know what the issue is? It's assuming there's a streaming assets folder in our project. I didn't create one. It's not created by default. I have to make that happen. That's a me boo-boo. That's a boo-boo on my part. I forget. You have to make a folder. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I can get rid of this. Okay, the world is not out to get me. We're good. Life is good. I'm not crazy. I just made a little oopsie daisy. And that's okay. We all make oopsie daisies. I'm using Ubuntu. Ubuntu. Simple old, basic old Ubuntu. Okay, so it's defaulted. I'm gonna leave it here. Okay, cool. And now we're gonna exit, and we're gonna come back. There's a missing reference exception. We'll deal with those exceptions later. Right now we're gonna press play. Well, fantastic. We had the best of everything. We got nothing. So what's happened? Assertion value was null. Oh no, we're not decompiling assert. So an assertion's failing at line 38, and it's when we do init. So this is the second time. A file actually exists now. We enter said file. We try reading a line from it. Do we write a line? I didn't write line. We just wrote directly to the file. Elementary. Okay, we're gonna try this again. This should be good this time. Not a distro snob, all good. No, you should be a distro snob. You should be. It's not alright. Everyone should be using Arch. You should shame people. It's important. Shame has an important function in society, and we need to shame. We need to shame us dirty Ubuntu Mint casual Linux enjoyers for not using Arch. Just kidding. We should shame them for not using BSD. That's the real one we have to be doing. Streaming assets. Yeah, we're gonna delete you. Okay, we're gonna try this again. You're gonna go back. You're going back down. You're going halfway. Resuming. Exit. Resume. By golly, if it works. No! How could you have done this to me? You were supposed to be the chosen one. And it's going back to default values as well. So either we're not saving on release. That's the only thing I can see is happening. There's an init file. Okay. Cool. I'm glad that this does not read stuff. I should really make a thing that just takes it to the right folder, but I've been too lazy to do that. I spend way more time at work configuring my environment to be super duper ultra productive, but what can I say, man? At home, we could be a little sloppy. Okay. So the value is correctly there. It is correctly there. So we've written the correct thing. That is good. Imagine not using superior declarative technology with NixOS. You're right, Tobas. I'm a Unix kid. Does it exist or touch init config once? Okay. Yeah, it seems to be writing correctly to there. Thanks for the stream, Mr. Cozy. 6:15 a.m. Time to sleep. Yeah, you go rest, Illusion Hawk. Thanks for popping in, though, man. Also, I realized you said that a while ago. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you sooner. Alright. Then we get a bunch of text. Okay. So what's happening here? So file. In fact, this is redundant. So let's say, okay, cool. File create. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should, well, that's not gonna impact stuff. We get to here. We do reader, we do open read. Oh, this reads in only one line. We're not programmatically, oh. Okay, so we have to define, so there's an issue with our file format. We have to actually write the count, the number of dictionary values. Yeah, we didn't do that. Count. So now we're gonna write the number of key value pairs, and here now we're actually gonna be iterating through the correct amount. Less than. We actually have to read the first one. It's gonna be int count. We're gonna do that. There we go. And now we're gonna actually populate it with all the correct data that a gamer could ask for. Though, it would have populated only one if I'm... So we don't have to modify the actual stuff in the file. The file's in a... No, we do. We have to delete this. The file's in an incorrect format. No! My music blinds me. Okay. Cool. End. Return. Okay. Come on. I know you wanna. You wanna work. No! No! Is the UI backwards? Is the UI initializing backwards? Wait a second. Hold the phone. On pause, receive. Button. Okay, whatever. This is just the setup stuff. SFX level value equals no. Volume, yeah. That's set there on init. SFX level. This is on click for just having the vibration on mobile. They're backwards. So player prefs was not the issue. I was the problem. I was the issue. I was the drama. But hey, at least now we have our own system for this. It's just for the aesthetic, Tobaz. It's just fun. It's different from what I use for my day job, and it just helps with that extra disconnect between work and personal. Okay, so it turns out player prefs, a system written by Unity, used widely, was not the issue, and instead it was my logic. However, thank you, Bone Circuit, for being that voice in my head that tells me just to roll it yourself. Because hey, now we got that knocked out and actually have more control over how this is handled. And we can do more nuanced, complex things. Hey, now audio is actually correct. Okay, why are you stuck? I think it was just the desktop thing. Cool, so now we can start tackling the problems here. Which is that this works fine for a while, but I think after you die or lose or something, the coins stop working. Well, if the level actually spawns you in the correct location, that's also another important factor, isn't it? I don't know why this happens on occasion. Happens on restart. Yeah, it's happening consistently now on restart. But it's fine here. Yep. We have an error happening here. Ooh. We're not disposing something properly. Yes. Indubitably. It's missing Text Mesh Pro GUI. So I'm assuming it has to do with how we're handling subscriptions here. Which is actually an easy fix. It's just weird that it breaks so much logic, but unkind update count. Where are you subscribed? Ah, see, look at that. Missing add to game object. Well, that was an easy fix. And now we should be able to play it more frequently and it's gonna be fine. Such a vibe. The CRT is absolutely necessary. Exactly, Mir. You understand just how crucial the CRT is. The CRT is 100% crucial. It is the cornerstone. A version number. That's right, Bone Circuit. I should probably do a version number, but I don't know. This is a one place where I'm like, it's just a dictionary, essentially, what I'm doing here. I guess I do need to worry about backwards compatibility, but I don't think we're going to change. Like, the config structure we built is very extensible. Okay, cool, you're working. Let's die. Die faster. There we go. Retry. Hey, you didn't bug out this time. I wonder if that was tied to it too. That exception. And audio's still working. Bam. Restart. Yeah, and we're spawning in the correct places. Let's quit. Press play. Yeah! Okay, wait, actually. Yeah! Okay, beautiful. Let's update our little to-do list. Bonus quest. Write our own config file. System. Checkerino. Correctamundo. Fix coins not working on subsequent plays. Check. Beautiful. And it's probably fixed a bunch of other bugs actually by extension. And fix audio. Fix incorrect audio levels on load. Check. Compacting. Dude! Crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. I'm very happy. I heard you like your engine to serialize serialization of an asset that hasn't been serialized yet. Yeah, I like to have at least 6 different levels of serialization happening. Honestly, guys, like, it's too much of a bother to deal with serialization. So I actually just prefer just copying the entire heap. We just copy the entire thing and just write it to a big byte file. Yeah. We just do a little buffer overflow, access all the data on the dedicated WAM, and just dump it into a file. A 64 gigabyte file. I'm sorry, I forgot we're in 2026 where RAM is like crazy. Your 8 gigabyte 8 gigabyte file. How else are we to preserve application state if we don't just copy the entire thing, man? Enderbin. I like the Mega Man. I like the Mega Man 2. I love the Mega Man games in general. My all-time favorite boss master, or robot master, Metal Man from Mega Man 2. Needle Man is also pretty good. For some reason, I thought Needle Man was cool as a kid. I still kind of do. Napalm Man too, pretty rad. Fireman was also a banger for me. Always loved Fireman. What's going on, Kyle? Glad to have you here. Make yourself cozy. Shoot and dump. Peak cozy cabin game certified code right there. What other things? Oh yeah, I want to do the relative screen position thing. Yeah, that's a thing. Is this all managed by GameView or player controller? I guess player controller has access to this stuff implicitly. So I could, theoretically, do a little thing, which is going to be transform. Vertical parent. Like a bunch of guys from Mega Man 5. I thought most of them were cool. Yeah, Mega Man 5 was pretty dank. They were pretty cool. I like Waveman. Waveman stage, I always go back to play that. And his music's good too. Are you coding for? I'm just using Unity currently. One day I'll be free, but for now, we're still in Unity land. Yeah, 5, who was in 5? Napalm Man, Wave Man, Star Man, Stone Man, the Guts looking dude. Guts Man looking dude. There's a propeller dude, I forgot his name. The green dude no, that's Mega Man 9. Oh, I think this guy's actually green too. Gravity Man. Oh, I forget, dude. Yeah, I can't remember him. That's where I'm at. There's 2 more I'm missing. Gyro Man. Just so slim and nice, yeah. Starman was a cool thing. Starman walked so that VV could fly or can run. Yeah, I always like the vertical sections. Ooh. I think 5 is actually the game I completed pretty recently. No. Transform. Crystal Man is cool, but I don't like his attack. His levels has a lot of crystal themed stuff. Yeah, I wasn't too much of a fan of it either. Crystal Man's I mean, it's alright. The level didn't stick out that much to me. It wasn't particularly the funnest. Oh, Charge Man. He's the train dude, right? The train dude. That's the other one I'm missing. Have you made any games in Construct? That's a crazy question because yes, I actually have a long time ago. I think I played it on this channel before. I remember talking about how like games don't have to be technically impressive to actually communicate something personal and be effective at what they do. And I made one game within Construct. Yeah, Love Past. This one I did in Construct. But Contract became like too limiting for me, and I ended up just switching to something else. Okay, I'm not gonna play the game here. But yeah. Yeah, I guess if you use like the unlimited tier, it's pretty good too. Yeah, you can press the loading bar. Yeah. No, Construct was nice for what it was back in the day. I think I'm kind of a control freak, so I like having control over everything. So that extends to the code as well. And as time progressed, I've becoming more and more like just wanting full control over every aspect of the game and engine and whatnot. But yeah, I think there's a few other projects I was trying to do in Construct at the time. Pref key, yeah, we're not doing that. Oh, maybe, nah. Nah. Am I doing this? Unity, what is the, did I do the thing? Oh, I didn't. Which means I can't just move stuff willy-nilly, can I? I have to actually... I mean, I guess I could create it empty and then move these boys into there and hope for the best. Hopefully things don't break. Controller. I tried coding a Mega Man fan game in Construct, but faced some issues. Some object instantly picking issues, like the game would think I'm hitting multiple enemies when I'm hitting one. Yeah, I mean that's part of like an issue with Construct, is that it's very hard to actually distinguish stuff between instances. Honestly, I was a Game Maker boy before I hop shipped to Unity. But yeah, I remember Construct and Stencil is another engine that were like, it was tricky trying to figure out and pick out the correct instance for the object you want to have. If you're doing a Mega Man style game, you probably have more luck with like Game Maker. Maybe even Godot. Because the thing was with Game Maker, I don't know, maybe they changed it, but like for the longest time, you'd have to implement your own physics, which, I mean, is actually kind of helpful. Because it's going to give you a bunch of, I don't know, it's going to expose you to a bunch of different problems. And if your goal is to get better at programming, then like, that's super cool. But like, if you don't actually want to deal with that, because, you know, writing your own physics thing is actually very hard to do correctly and actually have it feel good, then yeah, a lot of engines like Unity or Godot have like some kind of component you can slap onto an object, and it, now congratulations, your object has game physics and it's not going to clip through objects and whatnot. So yeah, you can get some good games going on pretty quick. I know Game Maker has some built-in physics, but it wasn't quite the same. I don't know, maybe they've changed it at this point. They've done a lot of stuff. What was I doing? I was doing something, wasn't I? Right, player controller. Right, and on update, we're gonna be moving it around. P. There's a way to like whirl to screen point. Yup. Collider. Okay, and this can give us a vector 2. And then from there, we're gonna move our and hopefully that just works the way I'm imagining it should work. We'll find out. An expected server stack if you don't comprehend that part. Matchmaking could be a $5 AWS light sale or generic web server. What's going on here? I made a FNAF game in Construct, didn't face many issues with that. There are indeed a lot of Game Maker Mega Man games, but with Construct I liked having pre-made physics. Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of engines have something for that. Unless you're doing like an RPG Maker or something. I'd be surprised if Game Maker didn't get on that already. There was a Mega Man framework on Game Maker. Oh, cool. Made by a fan 10 years ago. Later expanded into Mega Man Maker and Mario. Yeah, I remember Mega Man Maker. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I didn't do that much with it, honestly. It was cool for what it was. Oh no. So it is tracking the player. The UI is actually consistently like in the same place as the player, so you're always kind of going based off of that. Cool. The only problem is that it's also overriding the X position, and I don't want to modify that at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this dot overwrite X with v2 dot X. So we're going to preserve the original X. Or actually, I mean, it's going to be the same cost, honestly. What's going on here? What's the problem here? It's a vector. Oh, it's a vector 2. I didn't write an extension for vector 2s, did I? No, I did. You dirty liar. I did have a vector 2 overload. Why are you wrong? Oh, because being casted to is a vector 3. There's some weird ambiguity. Okay, so we were going to do this instead. We're going to do v2 overwrite. Nope. Oh, this is self-reference. What am I doing? This is not working because we're... Okay, there's a bunch of reasons why this is not working. Okay, here we go. Transform dot position overwrite y, and then we're going to overwrite y with this little dealio. Fantastic. And that should be correct. And now the X position isn't going to be modified. Only the Y position is going to be modified. Yeah, Unity's been trying to sell services for the longest time, though. That's been their thing. They're trying to get you into their ecosystem for everything, from ad servicing to all that stuff. So the idea of this game, it's just a simple like infinite runner type game where you can customize your machine and stuff. It's meant to be a short, small project for a short time frame, but you know, I've gone through so many iterations with it. It's kind of crazy. This game used to look very different, played very different. You also have some music. But yeah, you're trying to get to the end before the timer, and I'm not gonna make it. We also have to have the warning for the timer, yeah. It's gonna be close. We lost. But yeah, this is the main idea. I need to replace this too, and you can do upgrades and stuff like that. So we fixed a bunch of stuff with the configs, with the audio persisting, and I've made a little adjustment to how some adjustments to how buttons are going to work on mobile. So I'm going to try to test it out and see how it works for people. Hopefully it works pretty good. Maybe I should work on spicing up the level transition effect and then adjust some of the UI stuff. Come on. But yeah, we need to have a warning for when your time is running low. So we're gonna do a 30-second timer, and then a 10-second, and then like a 3 count. I think that's what we're gonna do. Dude, I was so close! You can't do this to me! We're so close. Oh, we didn't try at this level, now that we made an adjustment to spacing of meteoroids. And we have to do the stack system, that's right, we talked about that last stream. So that, like, once you get to the maximum, it rolls over, and it turns into a bonus. Or else you get to this squeaky. You know, Cornelius brought the idea of having like your jet color change the higher your bonus is. And the more I think about it, the more I kind of actually like that idea. So it's easier on desktop. I'm gonna see it. I have to test it on mobile. We're gonna do some testing. Maybe I'll do some A/B testing as well to see like if people like the Dude, what's going on? I can't get to the end. I'm always failing right before it. Alright, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to the garage, we're gonna upgrade. We're gonna do the Falcon. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, this whole thing needs to be redone. Okay. Now we're gonna go fast, dude. We're gonna go fast. Okay, it's gonna be bad fast, though. Oh my goodness. I need to actually... It's a good thing we have a lot of hearts for this machine. Yeah, you have to spam the time slow to be able to use this machine. Oh, we're spawning in the wrong area there. That's kind of weird. Oh, we don't have our health packs. The health packs aren't popping in anymore. This machine is so stupid. It's so stupid, dude. All that just to get like 110, dude. Preposterous. Preposterous. Anyways, you get the idea. Pull down terminal. Yeah, we could change that 100 to 1,000. We could add a little 0 to it. Alright, let me catch up in chat. You consider introducing a big boulder wall that, like in Sonic 1 or 3? I'm not sure who you're talking about. There's a global objective, anything besides just getting upgrades. That's the loop, man. That's the whole game loop. Get coins, sell it in the shop. The stuff in the shop gives you more abilities in the game. Very simple. Yeah. I need to be very conscientious about the scope, though. We've been doing this. This is meant to be done in 3 weeks. And honestly, the work we've done here, if I knew exactly what kind of game we're going to make, it probably could have happened within that time scale. But the fact that we've been like meandering and trying to figure out what exactly feels better and iterating instead of and trying to discover what the presentation for this mechanics is going to be just took way longer. It's crazy. I'm not sure how it's going to be with Messy Mansion. We're going to find out. Stain World. What's going on, Titan? What's going on, man? I thought about adding a terminal to the game, like to just projects. Like it's some kind of utility that just lets me have a terminal in any Unity project I open up. But I also don't want to keep investing more and more into this. But I don't know. Let me see something though. So I do want to do like a little A/B test. Let me see something though. Shot view, or no, game view UI. Because I want to do the stacking thing, which I guess is going to be managed by that coin pickup. Honestly. If we're going to do the whole stacking thing. Yeah, broker, collider, isn't it? Where is, really? Did I format it that way? That's not correct. There we go. We have our audio handle, a streak timer. Do we have our streak stored somewhere though? Oh, all the stuff is here regarding the streak. I should probably move all this stuff up there too. If I can find it. Okay. Streak count. So the streak's gonna keep going on. You should probably indicate like which right now is like 20, I believe. If you get 20 in a row, that's like a stack, if I'm not mistaken. Player, set volume. Oh, it's actually 50. So let's change that to 50. It's actually more prudent this be a float, so we're going to make this a float instead. Is there a way for the player to get 2 lanes of close situated coin lanes when they get so near? No, there's other ways you could do about it. I could expand the player hitbox, but that's not the most important thing. I could also just lower the amplitude of the oscillation for the coins. There's also abilities the player has, like drills, where they can just drill into the wall and access it, so there's solutions that exist. And in fact, I'm kind of leaning into placing coins in places where they can't access it so that they can actually use that drill dozer to break open the walls. Because the environment's destructible too. That was the whole thing. Streak window seconds, 1.5. Okay, cool. So we have this going on. We've indicated, we should probably indicate streak stack. Yeah. So on coin pickup, pick up here. So before we do this, we're going to do size. And increment our streak stack. Perfect. And that means when a streak ends, we also have to set that as well. Okay. And that means you also have to report in the update for coin pickup. Cool. And then now for that report. Where's the report? Here we go. Okay. Streak stack. Perfect. Okay, we're good there, dude. It's really cool. I'm really ignorant. Sorry if I asked dumb questions. No, don't sweat about it, man. What software are you using, and how long did it take you to learn about this? I mean, it's taken a lifetime for me to get here, but I've been coding for like 15 years. But honestly, only professionally, I've only been doing it for like the past 5-6 years. As far as what I'm using, I think I have something called languages, tools, or something like that. OS. But yeah, so there's a couple of different things though, depending on how new to this you are. So no, not screenshot. So when you're making games in general, here's kind of the set of tools you have going on for you. You're gonna have an engine. It's basically the tool to make games. Inevitably though, you're gonna have to write some code to make your game. So you're gonna have a text editor, some way of editing the text for your game or for your code. Now you could just use something like Notepad, but that's very basic. It doesn't give you much features or tools to help you out with like navigating your code. So there's some simple editors like that, which are like, you know, Notepad. And then a big step above that is like things like Vim and whatnot. Just simple applications that just modify text. And then the other option is an IDE. And this is a more powerful text editor that lets you do a bunch more with your code and get a lot more information and make it easier to debug too, right? So there's a bunch of different types of them depending on what you're doing, and there's IDEs for specific languages. In this case, I'm using C# for Unity, so I'm using Writer. But if you're doing like C or C++, you might use something like CLion. There's also Microsoft Visual Studio. That's free. Also in this category, there's also VS Code. So you have your engine, you have your text editor. That's kind of enough for you to just get running and start making some stuff. From there, you start having special tools for specific things. Like if you're doing 3D, then you probably end up using Blender. If you're doing pixel art, I recommend using Sprite. If you're doing audio, you might be using like a DAW, like FL Studio or Renoise. Is it Renoise? No, Reaper. Audacity, stuff like that. And then one other thing I'm gonna add that's like, this is like the specific for assets. One other thing you'd wanna have for any kind of like coding project you're doing is like set up like a Git repo. Basically, it's just like a nice way to save your progress. So that if you mess up, or you know, you want to clone your project somewhere else, or like you want to try doing something without like messing up the code, you can make branches. Yeah, set up some source control. That's what this is called, source control. And there's options. Like I use Git. I think most people use Git. It's a very great tool, but there's other ones people use. This is also free and everything. There's stuff like Tortoise SVN and Perforce, Plastic SCM. But honestly, just learn Git. Just learn Git, dude. Just do Git. Godot Gang. I'm unfortunately not there, sadly. I'm using Writer, D. Corbin. On HIO, is that how I find your old game? Yeah, it's the old game. Just Love Pass by like Trixel. What's going on with Tally? Get good with Git. Yeah, get good with Git, dude. Git's not that hard, dude. Git is not that hard. We're gonna look at this. This is how you do Git, alright? Git status, first command. Boom. You see all the changes you've done. Okay, you like your changes? We're gonna do Git add all. Bam. If we do Git status, everything's green. Beautiful. What are we gonna do next? Git commit -m, and we're gonna type a message of what we did. Made our own config and fixed bugs. Bam, we committed it. Now this is on our own this exists locally on our machine. Now we have to push it to the server. So what are you gonna do? Git push, in this case for me, Berg, and then the branch return to 2D. That's a branch I'm using, but usually for you, it's probably gonna just be git push origin, and that's it. That's all you gotta do usually is git push origin. Bam, and look at that. With that push, look at this. In the server, we got an update. Boom, made our own config and fixed bugs. Cozy Cabin Games. There you go. That's like 50% of the commands you have to learn for Git. Oh, you didn't get that the first time? Don't worry, we can do it right now again. This time though, we're gonna go into our I'm sorry, I keep doing work stuff. Okay, cool. So we're gonna do Git status. This is all the changes we made. Git add all. Let me type it correctly. Cool. Git add all. Everything's green. Git commit -m. Config module. Bam. Git push origin, and in this case I have to specify the branch. But there you go, dude. Simple. Like 3 commands to commit your progress. It's like 2 commands to like set up to initialize a repository, and then 1 command to make a new branch. Boom. Simple. Easy. Git's not that crazy. Dude, I really appreciate the explanation. I'm glad algorithm blessed me. Of course, man. Of course, dude. And we also have a Discord, by the way, guys. I don't really mention it that much, but we have a Discord, and there's like a specific section for like asking questions. Usually, you know, I'm down to answer, but there's also a bunch of other gym leaders there who are super willing to answer questions too. So, yeah, man. If you have more questions about that stuff, feel free to just ask over there. Or here. I'm also cool with like answering questions. LMMS. Oh, that's another one. Also, there's Furnace too for like audio stuff. I'm using Rider, by the way. D Corbin. You can take bigger risks and eventually work in complex branch setup with others. Yep. Yeah, the beauty of Git is that it helps you collaborate with others. I remember for like the longest time, I remember being in middle school and I wanted to make a game with a friend, but we just did not know how to, like none of us knew how we'd actually collaborate besides like maybe passing a USB stick around. So we just never did. But as soon as I learned about Git, way later, almost over a decade later, honestly, that's when I started to be like, oh, this is how I collaborate with other programmers. Oh, this is how you share stuff. Oh, this is how I access other people's stuff. Whoa, dude. It's literally how you get plugged into the ecosystem, because like most major source control services are using Git or based on Git. And the cool thing with Git is that you can even host it yourself personally, and there's things for that. Like you use ForJerho if you want to have your own server at home. And when I say server, it could just be like a really cheapo laptop. Those work. Okay, what are we doing? So we fixed the thing. We have our relative buttons working, which by the way, Completo Dorito. I'm thinking about adding this toggle, but I'm not sure about it. I do want to start dealing with like the whole shriek system thing. I may as well want to test it as well to see if the sound actually is correct. Maybe I'll do, I know, I have to design something first. Oh, I was about to get mad. I was like, I thought I turned the music off, but I forgot I turned it back on. So this is actually the save system working correctly. Our config is beautiful. You love to see it. Maybe we should not have 50 be the thing. Maybe it should actually be like 20 or something. Or actually no, not that. We should have the limit's too high for the pitch. I think like 3 is a much more reasonable thing. Let me start at 0.5 too. Yeah, I'm kind of a Git stan. I dog on Tortoise SVN or Plastic SCM is a distributed source control. It's kind of a blend actually, but I don't know. Come on, I need a streak, dude. Give me a streak. Don't do this to me. Come on. Ow. Oh, I need to make the walls physical. My niece was complaining about that. She absolutely detests the idea of you being able to go in the wall. Doesn't matter if like it deals damage to you. It's just okay. That's not right. That was not right at all. What is happening there? That's a weird bug. Is linked to Unity? Yeah, so Rider is linked to Unity. But it's an independent thing. It's built so that it can interface with Unity. You don't have to use it though for Unity. You can use Rider just for standalone C# projects and it works just as good. Ow. Oh my goodness, I missed the whole thing. I might expand the hitbox of the coins to be a little bit more forgiving. Do we get to 50? Yeah. It's still having a little bit of that thing where it's like a little too high, but it's better than it was before. So I think I'll lower down to like maybe 2.5. Does do it. Yeah, Rider's fantastic, dude. Rider is super duper good. Its integration with Unity is fantastic. There's a bunch of little tools for enforcing style guides and stuff like that too. It just works real good. Yeah, we need to add a little thing too to be like, hey dude, congratulations. Or maybe we start lower. But yeah, okay, so we have to, so now we're getting into like design specifications. So once we start working on a new game, I need to start thinking of like almost in terms of like a, you know what, engineering. Actually, you know what? You know who's the person who I feel like I relate more and more to them day by day with this project and just projects in general. Have you ever heard of Wintergatan? This dude has spent the past 10 years designing a marble machine, and he's scrapped like functional versions of them because they didn't work quite as well and they didn't meet the specifications for like his world tour eventually. But now he's working on a third iteration, and the big thing he's done is finally specify the design requirements. And like, this is what we talked about. If we had very specific design requirements and a good understanding, I mean, part of it also, like with games, unlike engineering, figuring out what's fun requires iteration. So there's always going to be a little bit of give there, or quite a bit of give as you do discovery. But like, if you theoretically know what the game's going to be and how it's going to be laid out, the path to implementing it would be so much faster. And I just always neglect this part, the design requirements. He's awesome. He's fantastic. I love watching his stuff. But yeah, dude, I need to do that more. Like, more than just like a little scribble of like, all right, this is the game loop. Good enough for me. Oh man. He's alright. I'm gonna make this 40 or something. I have to think about what we're gonna do. Like, maybe I don't have to have a diegetic representation of what we're doing with the coins, but like, oh man. Yes and no, I agree and disagree at the same time. You won't believe how many times breaking down stupid PM feedback into fun is amazing. Yeah. what, breaking down project management feedback. Oh man, I need some water, dude. Come on. Dude, the coin sound, like the pitched low coin sounds funny. Okay, cool. I'm good with this. Let me look at the time. I mean, we're gonna have to design. We have to design the specifications for what this UI should do. Cozy, you got the song from that stuck in my head now, thanks. Oh, from Winter Garden? It's a great song, dude. Yeah, we're still going. Yeah, knowledge you can play now. Yeah, I mean, also it depends on the type of game. Because I feel like there's certain games where you can design a significant portion of it on paper. But then there's games that require that just level of prototyping and testing. And I've kind of done things wrong because I've implemented and polished things up before testing it. And I really should have just done bare minimum stuff to get the game barely functional. And then testing it with people to see how it feels. So the product owner will try out the feature and say some stuff like, "Oh, this feels inconsistent," even though it's completely deterministic and relaxing randomness. Oh yeah, that's not fun. I don't like. It's not. I would not want to deal with like game development and dealing with stakeholders. Or product owners. Game design documents are mostly ignored after some time during project rollout. Yeah, that makes sense, dude. What's going on, Soman? Welcome to the stream. I've used a humble spreadsheet for complex scenarios that are hard to debug. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm probably gonna bust out the spreadsheet like crazy once I start working on the turn-based project. Cause that's gonna be much more like data heavy, but kind of nice is it's kind of analytical at that level. Like I can't really do a spreadsheet for like how movement feels or how things interact, or not interact, but how players interact with the UI and all that stuff. Coin pickup, okay. Game view UI. Is this handling? Do you have? What are you doing here? There's a timer module. What's going on here? Where is time being handled? I forgot where I did that. Is there a time view? Or like a clock view, or we have the timer module and it has like the elapsed seconds. Someone has to be accessing that. Timer UI, there you go. So this thing that's responding to this. Okay, cool. Actually, we just need time. Alright, what's going on here? Game design is brutal. There's a reason why some of the best developers in games were made under extreme working conditions. Doesn't lose that level of passion, dedication. Yeah. I don't know. I think things have changed so drastically. I don't think it's necessarily like the working conditions that produce that, though. I don't know. It definitely feels like I notice this with me, right, where it's like there's kind of underlying feeling like, oh yeah, everything's been done already. So a lot of games, I mean, it's not inherently wrong, right, but it's just, you know, I don't know. I don't really have a strong opinion about this, to be honest. Come on. I don't know, because I'm still seeing some cool stuff being done. Like, there's that SDF project that's being done, and I think it's going to be super cool to play around with that, but if you know what I'm talking about, there's this video of this guy who's talking about his game engine he's working on that allows for really dynamic interaction with the world in a way that you haven't really seen before. And it's a really cool thing, like a tech demo. I'm wondering what the design is going to be for this, though. Last frame. So what am I doing here? We have to do our warning. I think we have a distinct one for like .30 seconds. Maybe I'll make it a unitask. I've used the Humble spreadsheet for complex scenarios. Oh yeah. Yeah, and the people I know who do game design, they really do a lot of stuff with spreadsheets. I haven't done too much with it myself. Probably have maybe 30 seconds too much. Maybe I should do like 1 minute. That's like the halfway point. I could do like warning to observable. subscribe. Add to game object. So this doesn't keep doing its thing. Sound like Mike Tyson there for a second. Yeah, 30 seconds. Oh, 10 seconds, my bad. Cool, and then we're going to do our little fun, probably sound effects, and then some red flashing thing to get the player's attention. But nothing that keeps them off the road. I'll probably make some like resource name for this. In fact, I'll probably make it static so that we only have to load it from resources once. What's going on, Handsome Jack? I work as QA tester for famous company AAA and study game design. That's sick, dude. Let's go, man. So you're already in the industry and you're also studying game design. Let's go, man. Got some projects and all, but the one I'm working on is an exclusive game that'll be released this year. Let's go, dude. Mind giving some deets. Does Unity code ever benefit from before field init? Before field init. What is before field init? Is it like a property or something? I usually say a good sidetrack when you're deep into a game is writing the player's interaction, or a nat track that basically adds observability for achievements and stuff. So a way of like understanding how the players, like observing what the player is doing in their state. I guess for achievements, or if you want to be like a data miner, you can also just add some fun analytics and have the player report every single thing they do. Check to see if their system has a camera. Observe their eye tracking. Yeah, I never thought about that as a separate thing to just work on. Usually when I'm stuck or if I don't want to work in this game, I just work on the engine stuff. On the ASCII renderer thing. And that's a good time. I was doing something, wasn't I? Yes. Effects. Okay, and then we're going to do clip. Yeah, the danger of starting other projects though is that, or working on other projects while working on a main project, is that like you can get swallowed up by that. This was a side project for while I worked on to do before wrapping up or going back to work on Messy Mansion. The problem is that, like, when you... There's a perfectionist I think people have, and I don't want to release things that are bad. I probably should do a game jam at some point, but, like... Yeah, I really want to have something that's quality, so I end up just pouring more time, and it's like a... I end up in this, like, kind of sunk cost fallacy thing. It's bad. It's pretty bad. But, you know, I can always say that, hey, but work on releasing something and then going to another project means that, like, the tools for that project are better because all the stuff I've built for this are going to translate over there. And all the shortfalls and or pitfalls and issues and bugs that are part of, like, the core architecture will be addressed when I go back to that project. So that's one way of rationalizing it. But we shall see. Unless I decide to just switch straight to the engine and not finish my other Unity projects, in which case, yeah, everything I did here is for is not going to translate over there. Okay, warning, 10 seconds to observable, yeah. 60 seconds to observable. Okay, we have a way of doing that. I have to actually make these sounds, but I have them programmed now, so when the time comes, I can just do it. Just play those sound effects. Which means this also needs an audio handler. What's a parameter you need? Oh yeah, reserve? Yeah, of course. Why is that not the default? Okay, so we reserve it. And then we're gonna play the sound effect. I should probably just make it first before I call it. Basically before field init means the type can be initialized at any point before any static fields are referenced. Type can be initialized before any static fields are referenced. That means it can be very lazily initialized. So what? So the static fields aren't initialized, like their initial values aren't set unless someone calls on it, and then it gets initialized, and then it's used. Is that a way to, like, minimize, like, the size of complete domain or the length it takes? Because, like, instead of initializing every single struct type or class type, you're just would that only be for static though, right? So that would be like, I imagine that would be very, if I understand it correctly, then you stand to benefit the most if you have a bunch of static class types that, or static field types that have that initial values on them. What's going on, Motivational Life? Which game studios, bro? Oh, you're talking to the dude before. Yeah, best for static types. Gotcha. Gotta head out, night. Good luck. You have a going, dude. Thanks for popping in, dude. Catch you in the future. Definitely, man. I'll catch you later, man. Okay, so I have some audio homework to do then for this. I have to design how that's going to look like for this effect, but it's there at least. What I'm probably going to do is do a fade to 0. And we're going to do like a, what are we going to do? We're going to do, because there's a text renderer. So, do I have something here to actually set the properties for all the elements here? I don't think I do. There's a bunch of raw images though, but we have to, because we're using a custom shader for text rendering. Yeah, here we go. So that's how we initialize our text in the game. And here's how we actually set the values. So how do we want to go about this? We can enumerate through the raw images and apply effects to them, but really what we need to do is expose the material and its associated yeah, the material and the attached raw image. So what do? It's a list of raw images. And that's right, because it's by lines, yeah. So we can have an internal materials, which contains everything, or we can just like enumerate raw image as well, and then we would have access to more that way, and it'll be more powerful. So you can make this actually a normal material. Okay, why am I the bad guy here? Oh, because... There we go. And then... Yeah, we get the text line component, and then we get component and children raw images, which honestly, this makes things even simpler because like, instead of doing this, I can change this to be raw images, and we assign it here. We don't need to have this new allocation. We can just use what exists, and in fact it's even better. We're not going to even use an array, or a list. We're going to use an array. I'll have to specify this. Okay, cool. This is actually better, because then now I can actually iterate and apply whatever effects I want to do. And this is called just text. Maybe I could just set color directly. Yeah, that actually makes more sense. The duration's gonna be like, I don't know, 0.2 seconds to fade into that color. And then we're gonna do the lambda expression. Do some interpolation. What's going on? What are you doing? Control F to find. I'm doing some coding right now. I'm implementing a warning system for the timer, so that once you start getting low on time, it changes the color of the text of the counter to let you know, hey, you gotta pick it up, man. You gotta go faster. No horizontal stream. Horizontal stream's still going. Oh, 1 second. Is it both the same stream? I didn't realize. I thought I was doing horizontal stream, but no. This is Dude, what? We've had two vertical streams this entire time? Are you kidding me? I thought we had a vertical horizontal. Oh, dude, I can't believe I've been streaming this entire time with two vertical streams. That is so stupid. So where's been the Oh my goodness. This is so dumb, man. I'm mad. I'm actually kind of mad now that's okay. Whatever, YouTube. You let me do whatever I want, I guess. We have two vertical streams now. Fantastic. Beautiful. Oh man. Okay. Oh, that bugs me, dude. Whatever. Two. There's more than one. Yeah, apparently there's two vertical streams instead of one horizontal, one vertical. This is the dumbest. This is so stupid. Actually, I don't know how that works. I don't even know. I used the wrong stream source for it. Whatever. This should just work. Am I missing parameters? Right, you need this. So we can do that, but then now you're not happy. Why can't I await you? You return a uni task. Do you not? Yes, you do. Oh, I have to do async. Okay, now we're good. Maybe I'll increase the size of the text as well. Good here. Let's fix the bad multiplication order. Okay, cool, guys. Nice setup. Thank you, man. Well, let's see here. Speed is up in that case, so without it, the moment is initialized. All the fields have to be initialized before the control flow continues. With it, fields aren't initialized when the type is, and calls for functions don't have to wait for fields to be initialized. And then you basically just skip overhead if your call does not next static fields at the time. Does not need it. Explained before field a bit better. I was hoping you might be able to glean where it might be possible to use that knowing the characteristics. Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's much more helpful for iterating in development environments. Usually for like actual user-facing stuff, though, I don't want to have any JIT compilation things going on. But as far as like, because if I almost feel like you have to architect around it to really get the benefit from it, because I feel like, oh no, I closed out by accident. Here we go. But yeah, like I'm like yeah, I feel like you'd have to if the benefit really comes from static, then you'd want to be using more static if you can. But I feel like in general, it's usually better to avoid static. Or at the very least, like static is not the most common prevalent code. Like field or properties that emerge. I don't know. It would be cool to profile that and see exactly where the costs are coming from and how they break down. All right, I think we're getting close to wrapping up, guys. So I'm gonna test to see if this does what I think it should do. Alright, let's see if this works. First try. Yeah, no, that's cool though. It's cool to know. And honestly, anything to help out with like eliminating load times is like super beneficial. Ooh. Why are we mad? Are you mad because I made this reserve? This is all coming from the UI. How many instances are there? This is happening on update. Whoops. This is supposed to happen on start. My bad. A little oopsie poopsie. Yeah, there's someone who's mentioning like you can also just turn off the compiling domain thing, but I'm not sure how much I trust that. I think the closest thing I've done is like make it so it doesn't automatically compile. But that caused a bunch of problems. More problems than it was worth for me, so I ended up just disabling, going back to normal again. Come on. Okay, so you need to survive for a couple seconds there, buckaroo. Let me do something real quick. I'm gonna turn off the streaming for vertical or horizontal, because horizontal is not streaming anywhere. That's so stupid. I can't get over that. Okay, let's see if we can get to the 60-second warning. Or I can even get to the end of the level. Yeah, I have to do the bonus thing. I'll figure something out. I like this distance. It's actually, you can like do little fun curves around it. I didn't see the timer warning go off. Did you guys see it? Oh my goodness, it returns to infinity. It returns to... Oh, because it's the coefficient. The p-value is a it's a coefficient. It's a coefficient. So we have to actually be doing a lerp. Not I can't just do a simple expression like this. Okay. I need to go to bed, dude. I really do. But I feel like I just want to get this thing working. You know? I just really want this working already. Okay, run it. Let's see. Let's see, 60 seconds. Oh. So I'm seeing it happen instantly. The logic here is flawed. I have to actually do it differently. I have to do if it's like, first of all, 10 seconds. But also greater than... If elapsed time is greater than 60 seconds and greater than... Is that right? Yeah, the 10-second warning is gonna happen at like... Yeah. Yeah, so like... It's greater than 60. Greater than like... Whatever our constant is for maximum. I don't know. I'll deal with this later. But yeah, it has to be like the duration minus the interval we're testing for. And the color thing isn't working. I'm not seeing the color actually be represented correctly, so that means we have to set like, I don't even know, dude, because we have to text sprite shader. Like, I don't even know which shader is being used for the font. I forgot what I wrote. Sprite sheet render. Yeah, I don't know what the material shader is. I think the best hope would be over here where we construct it. because at some point we create a new here, yeah. But can I see? I can't. Oh, wait a second. No, it doesn't show it. It doesn't show what we have set there. Okay. I have to go to fonts and figure that out. And I might have to modify the shader to support color, which I don't think I've done already. Yeah. Oh, fonts, here we go. And then here's the information, here's the actual material, and then here's the shader. It's just sprite sheet shader. And it does have a color attribute, which means I could just do, I could simply just do, instead of, this, you'll get the material set. We could just do this. And that should hopefully be correct. Good morning, Cozy. What's going on, Domino? Basically, if you make static types that do not define a static constructor, they already have the before field init on. Get the slow init if you define one. Interesting. Okay, that's good to know. So it's already going on. Where did you learn about this? Excuse me. I'm having... Alright, this is the last thing. I'll test it and then we're going to go to bed. Testing it and then we go to bed. Oh, we start at 60 seconds already. Oh, I didn't realize that. So 30 seconds is actually the correct time. And then we can do the 10-second thing. Or maybe I'll expand it out. Okay. I'm good with this. Very nice. Okay, guys. Let me get ready to go to call the stream. But let me catch up in chat real quick, guys, and you can ask any questions before I pop off. I do low-level C#. I worked on a compiler that cross-compiles C# to X. I never heard of X#, which is a manager language as unmanaged is a managed language at unmanaged speeds. Bruh, I hear. Isn't that not the goal? Like, I feel like every single language is like, that's what they advertise. It feels like a managed language, but with native speeds. I never heard of X#, though. I should check that out, actually. Doesn't hurt to check that out. And it sounds cool. Is your project like open source and available, or is it something for work? That sounds cool. Cross compiles though. So are you cross compiling at the IL level, or are you like transpiling C# to X#? Used to build operating systems. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Huh. I wonder how you be to get it working on like a FPGA. open source. Sick. Yeah, dude. Drop the name of it. I'll give it a check out. Heck, maybe we'll do a stream. Coding a game in X#. We did a stream with This Is Your Brain on C#. We should do another one on X#. Dude, I don't even know what that syntax looks like. Cosmos OS? Cool. Cosmos. Oh, you used X# for like an OS thing. Xbase reinvented for the .NET platform. Interesting. I'm gonna have to give it a peep. I need to find some. I just want to see what code looks like in X#. What's the extension? Just .x? LTCVP, cool. Well, anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Hope y'all have a good one, and until next time, stay cozy.